Hey, and welcome to the Jessica Paul podcast. I'm your host, Jess Paul, actress, manifestation expert, and mindset coach. And I'm here to share with you all of my secrets on confidence, success, and the magic of manifestation. If you're ready to dive in deep and see more success in your career, more money in your bank account, and more love in your life, with a whole new level of freedom, then you're in the right place. I'm letting loose on everything you need to take back control of your life, up-level your mindset, and tap into your manifestation powers. I'm so excited that you're here. Hello, you gorgeous souls, and welcome back to another episode of the JP podcast. It's me, Jess, your host, your manifestation mentor, your spiritual bestie, and all of the good things to help you manifest that life that you freaking love. So guys, today's episode, we're diving in all about vulnerability. I want to talk to you about what it means to be vulnerable and why basically the more vulnerable you are, the more you're going to manifest that money, that success, and that love into your life. And how it's fucking hard, and I know it is because I've been there, right? But I want to talk to you today about what it really can do when we open ourselves up enough. When we open ourselves up enough, which means that we do open ourselves up enough to be hurt. That is the point of being vulnerable. But when we are able to lean into our vulnerability, we're actually able to manifest way more into our lives at a very, very quick pace. But before that, we have our life update for this week. So guys, my life update for this week, I have been feeling so fucking good, like on top of the world good. Nothing has happened, nothing has manifested, nothing is actually going on, right? I mean, that's a lie. There's been things manifesting, as always. But just because I can, right? And this is something that I teach so many of you guys, is that, you know, we don't need things to make us feel good. I've been surrounding myself, and actually I listened to my own advice on my last podcast. So the previous week, guys, if you haven't listened, go and listen, because that podcast is all about money and money manifestation. And that's a topic that we're going to be like so in on over the next few months, basically till the end of this year, because I'm bringing out a new money mindset course and I cannot wait. But basically, like, I took my own advice on that podcast episode about being in a bubble of love. And I've been doing that so much because I think as well for me, basically I've moved through like a huge shadow phase this year. A lot of layers have been shed. A lot of my like authenticity has come through, and I've changed the way I show up. I've changed a lot about myself. I actually did another episode on that a few weeks back. But so much has changed for me, and it's all been happening kind of underneath the surface. And I really felt moving into, and perhaps it's because we moved into Libra season, because we're in Libra season now, and that's all about relationships, relationship dynamics, balance in relationships. But I've been working through some goddamn shadows, guys, about love and relationships. This is a topic that I hardly ever go into on the podcast, because it's a side of my life that I have been working on ever since my ex-boyfriend left me. And that's been 3 years now since my ex-boyfriend left me. This was a boyfriend that my one only ever boyfriend in life. And I was with him for around about 5 years. And he left me very, very brutally. And this is a topic that, in fact, I am ready and I want to do a whole episode on this, but that is not the episode for today. But it has been something that, it's coming. It's coming for the podcast, guys. I'm going to talk about love, relationships, breakups, everything like that. But for me, it's a topic that I haven't felt comfortable sharing fully, because one thing about me and about being authentic is that I never talk about shit that I feel like I am not an expert in myself, right? And this isn't to say that, because we're all experts, right? We're all experts in our own life, okay? But I like to be able to show up here and teach you guys. My podcast is very educational. So for me, I love guiding you through what I'm going through, but there's some points in my life where I'm like, I've just got to do the fucking work myself. And I've got to do it because the more I dive into this, more I go through these shadow aspects, the more I'm going to be able to bring for you guys, right? But one of the biggest shadow aspects I've been working through this year has been in love, men, and relationships. So I feel like this life update has turned into a podcast in itself. I don't know how that kind of happened. We're just going with it. We're going with the flow. But honestly, guys, this has been something that since moving into this month, really, into Libra season, so many things have kind of come to head for me and been so enlightening and like amazing. And you know, it kind of felt like all this heaviness of these shadows have finally manifested in a way that makes sense to me. And this, again, I can go into a whole other episode on this, but my main takeaway for today's episode is that of being vulnerable. And it's the whole reason that we're going in on it today. So, but for my life update, really, guys, it's that I felt this whole new level of love for myself, for you guys, for my community, for my family, for my friends, for every freaking person on this planet. I felt a whole new level of love. And now I've spoken to you guys about the fifth dimension, 5D, and I'll go in on the different dimensions as well in another episode. But I've spoken a bit about the fifth dimension and how that is all centered around love and loving yourself and loving everybody and being in that vibration, because it is the highest frequency of all. And since moving into that, after coming out of all this shadow work, guys, I feel on top of the world. And this is why things are coming through for me now, like channeling this money mindset course for you all, because money and love are the same vibration, and I go in on that. But also things that are happening for me in my life, guys, I mean, I again, this is like an update for another time, because I can't go in on it right now. But I am moving, and again, that's something that I'm going to chat about probably next week or the week after. But so much just up level has been going on in my life under the surface, that it's all kind of come to a head in October for me, which is amazing. So really, my life update is being in this bubble of love, feeling fucking great for the sake of it. And for that reason, so much is transpiring. So much is happening. So much is about to come through. So much is coming through. And the main thing that I have learned is about cracking myself open and being vulnerable. So we're going to get into that in today's episode. And again, before we get in on this, we've got our sponsor for this week. Basically, again, guys, it's not really a sponsor this week. It's more of letting you guys know what is coming. And I've told you, it's this new money mindset course. Like I said, this has been so fully channeled for me. And I've come at money mindset, right? I've come at your money mindset from a whole new perspective. Something has just come through recently, and it's a whole new perspective on it. As you guys know, I have manifested a great deal of money into my life in a very, very short amount of time through doing a lot of this work and through doing it deeply and intensely and never giving up, right? And I've brought out money mindset things before. I talk a lot about it in my coaching, in my academy, with my one-on-ones. Like, you know, it's always a topic that I love. But somehow I have come at this from a whole new angle, and my God, I just can't wait to bring it out. I can't wait to bring it out. This is the reason why I haven't brought out a full-on money mindset course yet, because it was all kind of waiting for this moment, I think. And as I said in my last episode, I think there's a great need for it right now with the current state. Again, and this is we're visualizers, we're not observers, but if we want to look at the current reality, which we don't, but if we do, the current state of our economy and the global economy, we need this work more than ever, guys. Because moving into this fifth dimension, ascending into this fifth dimension, that's how we're going to call in such a vast amount of abundance just through doing this work. And we're all capable. And so this is the crazy like downloads that I've been getting. So I can't wait to bring this out. So basically, again, rambling on, but basically you guys can go ahead and now sign up to a wait list. So this is basically, I'm recording it all at the moment and I'm getting it all out there. But it's not going to be coming out for another few weeks. But I want you guys to sign up to the wait list so that you're the first to know. And if you sign up to the wait list, you'll be getting a little bonus as well. And don't we love the bonuses? Because that's what you guys deserve. Like, if you want to go all in, you want to invest in yourself and you want to do it for you, you guys deserve a fucking bonus. You know what I mean? So I want you to go ahead and sign up to that wait list if you are ready for this. It's going to be a whole new level and I can't wait to bring it to you. So link is in my show notes as usual. And any questions you have about money mindset, about this course, drop me a DM over on Instagram at I am Jessica Paul, and I'm always there to chat to you. So guys, diving into today's episode then, do you know what I was just thinking? Because I just paused this for a second before I'm going in on this. I was just thinking as well about how I love the podcast because it's so magical that you guys get to listen to me evolve. Like, where in life does that usually happen? Where you've recorded weekly for it's been a year now. Actually, weirdly, guys, how weird, let's celebrate. It's been a year today. I'm pretty sure I saw on my Facebook, I started my podcast a year today, the 11th of October. Oh my gosh. Yes. The 11th of October, 2021. This is when I started my podcast. Guys, let's just take a moment to celebrate. I'm going to have to re-record something to put at the beginning of this episode. But I was just thinking then, I just love how magical it is that, because I get to watch myself evolve. I get to listen back to myself evolve, but so do you guys, you OG listeners, or you guys that have just come across my episodes and you're going all the way back to the beginning, and how I speak or how I show up or what I'm talking about. Things fucking change, guys, sometimes I've shown up on past episodes probably talking about something which now I have a different opinion on. That's evolution and expansion. And I don't know why I was just thinking about that. I think because this episode feels really different. I feel really different. I don't know what the fuck's going on. But anyway, getting into today's episode. So we're talking all about vulnerability. Now, I want to start actually because I got this up, I want to start by giving you the definition, literally the dictionary definition of vulnerability. And that is the quality of or state of being exposed to the possibility of being attacked or harmed, either physically or emotionally. Now, guys, when you hear that, how shit does that sound? Ew, we don't want to be exposed to getting hurt or attacked. Who wants that? Okay. But this is one of the most important things that you guys need to know about manifestation and about calling in that money, that success, that love into your life. If you are not open, you cannot let it in, right? If you are not open, you cannot receive. So that means you shut yourself off through pain or rejection or things that have hurt you in life. Then you shut yourself off to everything. So yes, you might be stopping yourself from getting hurt. Great, great. You're not putting yourself out there, so you're not going to get hurt. But equally, you're shutting yourself off from every single miracle, every single possibility that is out there waiting for you. You shut yourself off to that too. So, here's the brutal truth about manifestation. You have to be willing to get hurt if you want shit, right? You have to be willing to get hurt if you want success in life. That is just the way it goes. And this is the reason why most very successful people, whoever you are in life, whatever you do, success obviously is what it means to you, but successful in terms of having everything that you want, manifesting everything that you want, those people have also been fucking hurt and really hurt and to the point where they are emotionally and physically just ripped apart, ripped open, okay, at times in your life. Now, I said in my life update, this is what happened to me 3 years ago. I was ripped open. And it's funny that in the time that I was ripped open when my ex-boyfriend left me, I manifested the most money I've ever made in my life, right? It's not funny. It's no coincidence. This is manifestation. If we're not open vibrationally, guys, we cannot call anything we want in. Now, here's the thing. And I know it's difficult because this is something I've been working on for the whole of this year, like I said to you, around men and love and relationships, because it was the thing that did rip me open all those years ago. It is hard to put yourself out there when you've been hurt. It is so damn hard to put yourself out there when things in your life have attacked you. Our natural response as humans is to close down. That's our ego's response, because our ego is there trying to protect us. It's trying to keep us safe. And my God, it's doing its damn hardest, you know? But what we need to be able to do is become experts in being vulnerable. We need to become experts in being open. And this is probably, you know, one of the hardest parts of manifestation. You know, I've spoken before about how trusting the universe and trusting that it can be a difficult part, you know, when you really, really want something and the final part of manifestation is trusting it. Actually, trust is fucking easy if you let yourself, you know, trusting, having faith, that can be easy. That can be as easy as you want it to be. Being vulnerable, actually putting yourself out there with the possibility of being attacked and hurt and cut down, right? That is fucking hard. So this is also the main thing that we need to work on if we want to manifest everything that we want into our life. So this is me, guys, right? As a woman who is very, very, very good at setting boundaries, okay? I'm also a Scorpio rising, so I'm very fiery, and I'm just good with being very freaking brutal and shutting things down when I need to shut them down. I'm very, very good at shutting off relationships if I need to shut them down, if they scare me or if they hurt me. I'm very, very good at, and that goes for business partnerships, that goes for, you know, any kind of career relationships in my life, as well as friendships and love and relationships, right? I'm very good at that. Now, that's a benefit in a lot of ways, because I don't let anybody walk all over me. Nobody's ever been able to do that, right? And the people that have, that's when I've been vulnerable, right? But I'm an expert at that. I'm an expert at setting boundaries. Some of you may relate. Others, you might be listening thinking, oh my God, I'm not an expert at that. People walk all over me all the time. How do I stop being, you know, this wet person that people walk all over? Let me tell you, you guys that do allow that to happen, you're also fucking open, right? Because you have put yourself in the firing line of the possibility of being hurt. Now, we need to find a balance, guys, because I don't want any of you guys out there being walked all over and trampled on because you're too fucking good for that. You're a magical, magical soul and you deserve way better, right? But equally, I don't want to see you guys out there shutting down, putting up walls, wall after wall after wall, because you've been hurt, because someone's done you wrong. And I don't want to see you guys becoming an expert in setting boundaries. I don't know why, guys, but I'm starting to get emotional. I'm going to have to pause. Wow, guys, that's hilarious. I have never cried during one of my podcast episodes, and how funny that it's been a year since I started this podcast and now I'm crying. There you go. There's me being vulnerable right in front of a global audience. All of you guys that listen, I just broke down. But guys, the main message here is, as I said, I don't want you guys to be an expert in setting boundaries. I want there to be a balance there, but I want you to be an expert in being vulnerable too. So for me, what I've found and discovered is that there was a part of my life, there was an area of my life that I've been blocking off. And I've been blocking off even talking about it. Like I expressed at the start of this episode, I don't talk about love and relationships. I don't talk about men. I don't talk about dating. I don't talk about those things that I know so many of you crave to hear about. So many of you would relate to me even further if I did. And I hadn't even really freaking noticed. Like I hadn't, because I'd been feeling good. I'd been feeling good about other areas of my life. I've been manifesting a lot. But it was only recently that I realized how much I'd been blocking it off, even with my throat chakra, even talking to you guys about it. And now what happens here is that if you shut off one part of your life, you shut off every part of your life. So if you're thinking, well, I'm excelling loads in my career and, my business and money and things like that, or that's the thing I'm concentrating on, because a lot of you guys will concentrate on that. A lot of you guys will be like, yeah, this is why I listen to this podcast, because I want to make the money and I want to do the thing like Jess does, right? But if you're focusing on that and you're not actually looking at your relationships in life, about your love life or your friendships, or just how you feel in your fucking self, the relationship with yourself, right? And I have gone in on that because I've told you the foundation of your success is your self-love. But if you're shutting off one area of your life, you shut off every area of your life. That means you're not going to manifest the money. You're not going to manifest that career success of your dreams. You're not going to manifest the flat that you really want, the dream home, the dream car, the dream anything. You're not going to manifest it because you are shutting down. And when you're closed, you're not open to receive. So you're going to find this resistance that goes on in your life all the time because you're not addressing it. And honestly, guys, sometimes we don't want to address it, and that's okay. We don't have to face our shadows head on all the time, because that would get very fucking heavy. We've got to plug the light in too, but we do have to face our shadows head on. Actually, part of being a successful person, and the thing that what I live by, is that when a shadow comes up, I do get it head on. And I've been doing that for the whole of this year, right? And it's been in love and relationships for me. And I've discovered that with blocking that side of my life off, I'm also blocking off every single miracle that is out there waiting for me. So back 3 years ago when I was ripped open, when my ex-boyfriend left me and I made all of that money, there was no coincidence there. And for anybody that is going through a hard time right now where you feel like you've been ripped open, maybe you are going through a breakup, or maybe there's something else, grief, or something else that's happened in your life where you are just so ripped open and vulnerable in this moment, you need to know that you're also on the precipice of success. There is so much that is about to flow in for you because you're so open right now. For those of you that are listening to this thinking, oh, I actually feel like I have been closing off. I feel like I've not even been putting myself in a position to get hurt, because who wants that? I'm going to continue being this bad bitch and showing up for myself because I know I can do that and that's safe. If you are one of those people, you need to crack the fuck open. You need to take yourself there. You need to allow yourself to go there. Put yourself in the firing line with the possibility of being hurt. Because if you're not doing that every single day, you are blocking off miracle after miracle after miracle every single day in your life. So with all of this being said, and this has been a very raw and real episode, and my God, raw, very raw. I cried raw. But with that being said, there's going to be shifts and changes in my podcast too, and how I show up. And as I say, I've been changing how I show up this year dramatically. I've not brought any new offers out in my business. I've been focusing on different things in life. I've been having a lot of kind of epiphany moments and realizations, and everything is changing, honestly. And so I'm going to be chatting more. I'm going to be opening my throat chakra more about love and relationships and dating and men and things like that. So I'd love to hear from you guys what you'd like to hear about on those topics. Just drop me a DM over on Instagram. And I'm going to be coming at things that I've previously spoken about from a very different angle. And you know what? I'm going to flow with where I feel like I need to be, like each time I sit down to record. I find as well, even at the start of this episode, I went off on a track and I just let myself go there, because I think sometimes I try and keep these episodes very concise for you guys, because I know that that's what you like to hear as well. It's very educational, but I'm just going to be going in deeper and even more raw every single time now, because something has lifted this month for me, and my God, it feels very, very ready to be shared. So I want to leave you guys with this quote from me, a quote by JP. And I also have homework for you too. Like, I know this has been a raw and real episode, but I still have homework for you guys. But I want to leave you with this quote first, because it really sums up the whole of this episode, and it sums up the whole of how I've been feeling for this past year underneath the surface, and how many of you probably feel too. And it might trigger you. This whole episode, I hope, has triggered you guys. I really hope it has, because that's what I'm here for. But I want to leave you with this. So, the level of vulnerability we're willing to face directly correlates to the amount we manifest. We can't let anything in if we shut ourselves off. I want you guys to remember that. The level you are willing to go to in your vulnerability directly correlates to the amount of things that you're able to manifest, that you're able to call into your life. You cannot call anything in if you are not open. And being open means, yes, you are open to being hurt, but it's fucking beautiful, because that is really what this life is about. It's a process of being hurt again and again and again, and being cracked even more open and open and open and open, so that you're able to let even more and more and more miracles in. I promise you, the most successful people in life, including me, because I've been fucking successful, right? The most successful people in life have been the most hurt. And it sounds like it's a bad thing, but it's been the best thing for their success. It's been the reason that they've called that money in and that career success and that love in, you know? So if you want these things for yourself, if you want all of these things, get used to getting hurt, because you can handle it. You can. So I want to leave you with that. And the homework that I have for you this week is I want you to go ahead, like literally right now, and I want you to get on YouTube, and I want you to just research the Brené Brown TED Talk about the power of vulnerability. Now, I listened to this TED Talk. I've listened to this TED Talk loads over the years, but I listened to it years ago, and some of it sunk in, but I feel like every bit of it is sunk in now. And it is a fucking amazing TED Talk. You all need to listen to it. I'm sure quite a few of you maybe have already listened to it. But Brené Brown is a wonderful practitioner, and you should all go and listen to this talk in particular, because it really changed things for me as well. And I want you to let me know, what were your biggest takeaways from this podcast episode? It feels like it's a really different podcast episode for a lot of reasons, but I would love to hear your takeaways. I love it when you share this on your Instagram stories and you tag me in it and share it with your friends and share it with your family. So go ahead and let me know what have you related to this? Has it inspired you in any way? And go and watch that video. And as I said, guys, I'll be back next week. I'll be back every single week here with you guys, working through this stuff with you. We're doing it all together. You know, I've given up calling myself like this I don't know, like I've kind of given up calling myself an expert in like a number of things, because I'm like, you know what, we're all experts in our own life, and I'm working through this just as much as you're working through it. And yes, I might be a few steps ahead of you, but we're all doing it together. So I'm going to be showing up in the next few weeks talking about a lot of these life updates that are very exciting and bubbling under the surface for me, and I just can't wait to share them with you. So stay tuned, get subscribed, and I'm sending you all the love in the world. Thanks for tuning in, guys. If this episode resonated with you, share it with a friend who you think would love it too. And if you want to let me know how you found it, just screenshot this episode, add it to your Instagram story, and tag me at I am Jessica Paul so that I can throw all the love right back at you. And of course, subscribe, hit those 5 stars, and leave a review to show your support and to keep the good stuff coming. Sending you so much love and gratitude from your girl Jess.